ninja, go ninja, go! Go 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 ninja. Stop!
What are you guys doing?
Dude, we're excited to talk about the new Turtles movie, man. I got my trench coat, my Raph bandana. He's got his Leo bucket. We're excited.
You seriously went into a children's film wearing a trench coat?
Sounds weird when you say, oh my God, that explains the weird looks.
That's not the point. That's not the point. Did you not like it?
Yeah.
Hey, no, don't get me wrong. I love the movie. But as a kid, I didn't really watch a lot of the cartoon. Always more of a Power Ranger kid.
What?
Yeah, if you think about it, they're not really that different.
Back to
Oh my God, yes. Wait, hold on. No, wait. We're mad. Okay, no, yeah. We'll get back to this later. But we're mad.
Yeah, if you think about it, they're not really that different.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, they're both teenagers that learned karate from an elderly person, and they learned to fight crime.
Wait, hold on. Wait, that's not true. Because what about Bebop Rocksteady?
Bulk and Skull.
You got anything?
Guys, we really need to start recording. We don't have time to argue about this.
No, hold on, wait. Okay, no, so they got Bulk and Skull. That's true. That is true.
Hold up. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get us with this one. Casey Jones.
Got him. Dude, drop the mic.
That's easy. Tommy Oliver.
Ah!
Let me pick up the mic.
Seriously, guys, we need to record.
Wait. You got one. I know. In here.
Brain Blast! April O'Neil. Got her.
Drop that mic.
Woo! Down.
Alpha 5.
Ah!
I can't keep picking it up. This looks dumb.
You can't get us with this.
Ooh, what do you
The
got?
Turtles love pizza.
Boom.
Smoothies.
Oh,
You. Look at him.
okay. Oh my God. I'm gonna kill you. I like this ferocity. Okay, hold on. Wait. Hang on. He's our friend. That might have a point.
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with Nerds presents issue 159. My name is Rene.
Nick.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Woo! Friday night show, baby. We're back. Woo!
Bryan just unleashed a demon.
I
with his
did.
can.
I opened up. Okay.
I'm so happy that the camera caught it.
Did he really?
The camera was recording when you did it.
So
and the audio,
saw
and I could hear it on my mic.
That's sick.
Yeah, I think we should start it from when you opened the can.
Yeah, because that was a demon, dude.
Yeah, regardless if I messed
I have another
up.
can there, so maybe next week I'll open it up.
That was
Okay, but anyway, so
evil.
before we get to the stories, let's get the formalities out of the way. Guys, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you guys should, because I see the analytics. 40% of you guys are checking us out for 13 to 15 minutes longer than usual. So go subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so, and leave a comment down below if you guys are interested in, or even like the stuff that you guys are seeing here.
Especially if you're sticking around for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
that point, you're pretty much invested. Just click the subscribe button.
Help some guys out. Come on.
Don't help us out. Just do it.
Are you doing it because of Bryan?
Yeah, don't do it because of this dude right here.
Yeah.
Do it because of this face. You're looking at it.
Look how adorable it is.
Don't touch me. No, do it. All right. You want to get?
You almost
Want to slap me around, huh? Want me to get fired up, huh?
Stop it. Okay, I get
Subscribe
it.
to this channel, and now you'll see this.
Wait, hold on. I was
Every
just
week.
liking it. I was just starting to like it. Do it again.
We can guarantee you one fight every single week here at Keeping Up with the Nerds on YouTube only. Whoa, hang on. If you guys are on the road, working out, walking, can't watch us on YouTube, then go follow us. Stop. Follow us on our audio platforms, Spotify. Audio platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean.
Am I distracting you?
And that's it.
You said Apple Podcast?
Google Podcasts, Podbean, and
We're
Spotify.
not on are we on Amazon Podcast?
I don't know.
Yet. I don't think so.
I don't know. But leave a 5-star review.
Yes.
Yes. There's chapters both on the YouTube version of the podcast and the audio platform as well. Go like us on our socials as well. Instagram, X, Facebook, and Threads.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And
On the media
that
part?
is it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. All right. So, long story short, can you stop for like 1 second? Just behave. It was funny when he did
I
it.
just
It's
unlocked
just
a new
weird
kink
when
for
you
him.
do it, dude.
He awakens.
I know he did. Every week, every freaking week, someone does something. Nick, they can look at you weird and it awakens something in you. Like it's 2 seconds of looking at you and all of a sudden it's like, you've awoken me. You've awoken something.
You've awoken me.
You've awoken me.
Sounds like
Why do you-
Transylvania. You've awoken me. That was good. I like that. What'd you get?
Why do you sound like Yajirobe when you do that?
You've awoken me. Now give me your sensory wings. Corin knows, yeah.
That's how you sound.
Yeah, that's so true. You did sound like that for a second.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Give me your sensory wings.
I need an adult.
All right. So what freaked Nick and Rene out is so my job, one of my bosses basically handed me like a bunch of free food because they were like,
It even says on the can, it says rise.
Rise.
Rise the demons.
So this one, okay, first of all, not sponsored. So we're not going to tell you if it's good or not because you're not paying us yet.
Also,
we're just trying this out right now.
I just love the idea of your boss going like, I can't give you a raise, but I can give you this free
No, it was
food."
because it was like one of those vendors.
Here's a raise, but here's a rise.
No. He's a cool guy. But he was like, oh, it's one of those vendors that come in. It's like, oh, try our product and see if you want to sell it at like, at our place. So he had a bunch of it. He's like, I can't have it all. So do you want some of it? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he gave me 2 cans of this Rise cold brew. This one's like an oat milk latte nitro cold brew. Yeah. And this freaked him out because the moment I like opened it up, it was like, and then like all this fog came out. Oh, sorry. It was like Oppenheimer's bomb.
No, it wasn't. It
It
was
was like,
it like screamed. Dude, it screamed.
Yeah.
Like it screamed like you opened the Ark of the Covenant.
All right.
And you-
close your eyes.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at it, Marion. Don't look.
The second thing I got is this thing called Filo's Walking Tamales. Now, here's the thing is, I just thought about this, right?
Yeah.
This makes me mad.
Why?
Because it's going off the fact that it's assuming that tamales aren't portable meals.
I thought it was
No.
gonna make you mad because it looks like you on the tamales.
I'll take it. Dude, I totally rock that. Look at it. His little cap and his like
Your
glasses.
little corn husk.
Yeah, your little
Except
corn
I'm
husk.
not Mexican. This was made in Mexico. I'm not Mexican. So it can't be me.
What are you?
Guatemalan.
Right, we knew that, right?
Yeah.
We knew that, right?
I mean, that was important information we had to know.
At some point, yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
I've been asking for papers. For
I mean,
a while.
I've been telling I've been telling Mandy this. She goes, because I think we talked about it when
that you were wait. That
No,
you were,
no, no,
that you were
about-
asking for
about-
Bryan's papers.
no, about like where his Hispanic comes from.
Oh.
you know? And I go like, well, to be honest, it's all cut from the same tortilla. Like
I mean, you're not wrong,
Yeah.
but also, ew.
I saw some wetness.
Yeah.
I know.
So here's the thing. Again,
Why is it goopy?
Not sponsored. So we're not telling you guys to go buy this.
I
I'll put
will.
it this way. If it's good and they reach out to us, then
Give it-
maybe.
Give it a smell.
Okay.
I love
wasn't positive.
That's not a confident.
That was not
Oh.
positive.
Okay, so hang on. Tamales are already portable meals.
Yes.
Right?
Are
you
they?
You can.
Are they?
Bro, I've had tamales like.
Well, tell the difference between a Mexican tamale and a Guatemalan tamale.
So a Guatemalan tamale
Yeah.
is wrapped in banana leaves.
Yes.
And it's a little less like firmer.
Space is already
What?
like, that's not a tamale.
Why not, dude?
That sounds gross.
You don't even speak Spanish. You don't get to judge tamales.
Damn. No, he
Let
knows how to
Monica-
speak.
no, no, no,
yeah,
you know
but
what?
I know how to speak fat.
That's what I'm saying. He knows how to speak Spanish when it comes to
No.
food.
You know what? We need Monica's help
I
for
got
this.
this.
We need
from eating
Monica.
tamales.
We need Monica because Monica actually speaks Spanish.
She does.
What does
Yes.
that have to do with anything?
It's that she can actually dictate if this is good or not,
I
or if it's
think
possible.
I
You
have a-
can't tell me. You can't say
Yes,
Guatemalan tamales are weird because it's in a banana leaf.
How?
You don't speak Spanish.
That
You're
doesn't-
the
what
least
is that?
Mexican out of the
Okay.
three
What
of
is
us.
that? Hold on. Wait. What is
And
that?
I'm
have
not
to do
even
with anything?
Mexican.
You're not. But
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
So
said
you're out of the running
You're the
immediately.
least one, dude. I'm more Mexican than you.
How?
I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
What does
And I
that
can
have to do with
speak Mexican
anything?
You can
Spanish.
hold a conversation with
Yeah,
with
exactly.
a Mexican person.
And what does that have to do with anything?
You can't.
You speak Spanish?
I don't.
I bet my blood is purer than yours. It doesn't matter. Have you risen from a long line of Spanish lords? No, you haven't, you peasant.
Is that the Falero family?
Yeah, that's actually very true. That's actually very true. We have a crest and everything.
Yeah, no, same
All
thing.
the families have crests.
No, you don't.
We're peeking.
Yeah.
I'm more. You know what's funny? My last
What?
name's more European than Mexican.
Bravo?
Bravo. It's more European. It's more Italian. It's a different type of Spanish.
Oh,
Like-
sorry. I thought you were asking for a round of applause.
No, I'm just saying that. Like, I think my
Bravo.
dad was telling me that like the meaning of the Bravo name in Europe.
That does not look good.
No, man.
Look, it's just coming
It looks like a sweaty you.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
do you know what it looks like? It looks like you froze vomit.
Sure.
God, yes, it does.
This is a bean. Okay, so sorry, I
Okay,
didn't mean to interrupt,
yeah.
but
It looks
come along.
like-
We
No,
get it.
go ahead,
You're
yeah.
Bravo. You're European.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Are you royalty?
No, but I
definitely-
am the last living descendant of the Bravo family because
You
in
don't
the mail.
say that publicly.
No, but
they
because
can
most of the
kill
men, were shot in the head in gang crimes. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
So does that mean that you're gonna get shot in the head too?
probably. You know,
Do you
given my
want that?
track record, how I treat customers, one of these days.
Someone's gonna come in and rob
Someone's
the
gonna come in and
place.
go postal. Yeah.
I said I wanted 4 Spider-Man, not 2.
I ordered 50 of this issue to get the one variant.
yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so
He ain't
this
getting that.
tamale is a bean and salsa roja corn bar.
You have been spending
First
a lot
of
of
all-
time on the tamale.
First of all,
Just take a bite.
first of all,
Just eat it.
I don't like the fact that it's called a corn bar.
Oh my god.
Corn bar.
That's where you drew a line?
Yeah,
You know, it smells like.
it smells like a tamale.
It smells like you smell
It
the
just
masa.
looks wet.
It's just sweaty.
It's very sweaty.
Oh, I didn't like how it broke. I didn't like how the feel of it after breaking it.
Here's the thing, dude. If they
it's
sponsor
super-
us and it's good,
It's super like fit. It's like a.
Why is it?
It
looks,
feels
it
like
feels
a
like
power.
give me the
It's a
Feels like
Mexican
protein
power bar. Like,
Dude, it feels like a protein bar.
yeah, it's a
You're right.
Mexican.
It's me Mexican protein bar. Eh?
Okay, we're trying it. Okay. Okay.
It tastes like masa.
It's mostly that's a little spiciness behind it.
Uh-huh.
Wait, is this a bean?
It's a bean
It's
and
a
salsa roja.
super dry bean. Like look at that bean. I don't like the bean.
Why do you have to chew with your mouth open?
Gross.
Okay, then put your mouth away from the mic.
You should hear how.
No,
bad this
no one should hear that, dude.
It's not okay. It's all it is. It's just you taste the masa, but it's not very flavorful.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It has nothing.
At the end of it, it doesn't even have anything. Okay, sponsorship over. We're not getting sponsored.
Hey, guy, whoever gave this, like, work on your tamales, man. It's not. It's just spicy. That's it. Sometimes that's.
Oh my
not
god!
good.
It shot at me. I know I said bad things about it, but why did it fire at me?
It's made in Mexico too. So
Is it
you
really?
think
Oh
they
my
know
God.
better? They don't. Apparently, but no, whatever. Well, that was it.
Technically,
Oh, sorry.
that tamale's more Mexican than you.
That's true because it was made in Mexico.
That's true.
So how do you feel
Oh my
getting beat
God.
by the mud?
Ah, it's not at the mom.
I mean, it was made in Mexico.
Yeah.
You're the one that doesn't speak Spanish
I don't understand why that's like.
because you
that's
need
a
to know how to
boundary.
speak
because
Spanish.
that's a thing.
How is that? But I never understood how that is a boundary.
Tell Monica.
For no.
Ask Monica.
No, but how is
What do
that?
you mean no? Because you're
No,
scared
no,
that you're
I'm
proven
asking-
wrong?
I'm asking you. Why do I
Why?
have to go and ask my girlfriend just because you have no answer? I'm asking you, why does that make you less Hispanic than others?
Because you got to talk to other Hispanic people.
But that doesn't mean anything.
It does it, but
you grew up in a
matters.
different. But you grew
On the
up.
serious note,
On the serious note, yeah, on the serious.
he's right.
Yeah, it matters.
It does matter.
How does it matter though?
Because
Dude.
that's how Hispanic people are.
So in my family and
Yeah.
in several other families that I've seen,
Mhm.
if you can't speak Spanish to a person who's Hispanic,
Mhm.
then you are looked at I wouldn't say like disrespectfully less,
Yeah.
but you're not looked as like
A full-bred Hispanic.
yes.
Well, that also means that they're judgmental jerks that don't deserve
It's
my
just
me
it's
to entertain
culture.
them anyway.
Okay, but it's
called
not.
Mexicans. That's how they are.
Yes, that's how it is.
No,
I've had to because
No, wait,
I've
wait,
had
why
to,
are you getting mad
No,
at me?
because
This isn't. I'm not Mexican.
I've had to deal with this my whole life. Like I was either too white for the Mexicans, and then I was not, and then I was like too Mexican for white people.
I understand that,
and I was not Mexican
then why
enough to
waste
be
your-
with Mexicans.
then why waste your time? Just be you. It doesn't matter.
Mm. And I still get judged at when like I'm on because I take the bus here, and then when I'm on the bus, there'll be like an elderly Mexican person coming up to me, and they go, and they're just talking to me. I go, sorry, I don't, no Espanol, and they go, oh,
Mhm.
like, and I'm like,
The difference with me
Uh-huh.
is that in my workplace, because I speak a different form of Spanish,
Yeah.
I get judged for that.
mm-hmm.
So I say certain things that aren't necessarily like the right way.
Yeah.
So like one of the, I'll give you an example. Like,
Wait, do you speak like the slang,
no,
or is it?
I grew up with formal Spanish.
Oh, okay, yeah, because most in California, the Mexican slang is the Spanish slang is what most people know.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma knows the slang.
Which
Yeah.
is also not Spanish from Mexico.
No,
No,
it
it's
it's
is-
a
not.
completely
That's
different
a separate
Spanish.
issue. That's a
Yeah.
separate
So,
issue.
I know, but that's my point
Yeah.
though, is that you're making a judgment of a person where in fact
Hold up,
you're
is this
less
directed-
of a person.
Is this directed towards me? Because
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
was like,
just
this
no,
is-
I'm
I
just-
was just joking.
Nick.
No, I'm
venting
being
right now.
I'm being 100% serious.
Yeah.
Of how exactly can you talk down to anyone
Mhm.
when you technically don't even speak the same Spanish that a natural born Spanish speaking person speaks.
So,
you speak slang. That's
from
like
my-
if I were to make fun. That's like if British people were to make fun of the way that that Americans speak, because we
Oh, he
speak
speaks that
terrible,
freedom
terrible English because it's slang. It's mostly slang.
Yeah. No, from my personal experiences, like I said, I grew up speaking Spanish because I grew up in a Spanish household. Like Spanish was not my first language, but it was spoken a lot, so that's how I know. But I grew up speaking Guatemalan Spanish. So there's different words that don't translate the same when you talk to someone from Mexico, right? So they say alberca. What does that mean? That means pool. We say piscina. And so the difference in that is that because I grew up in an area that was mainly populated by, Mexicans,
Yeah.
right? I was judged for that reason. So for the longest time, all the way from elementary school to middle school, I'd get bullied around for it because I wasn't Mexican. That isn't a direct parallel to what Rene and I were talking about, where like, traditional Hispanics, traditional Mexicans. I don't know if Guatemalans are like this, but I've heard it is kind of like that as well.
And
where they're
I'm
coming-
I'm
hold
so
up.
sorry we haven't gotten to the nerdy stuff.
I know.
But
You
you
got
it's that
tricked.
tamale
Yeah.
threw us off.
You threw us off with a tamale, and then
wanted it on the
you,
show.
you
to be fair,
attacked
I
me,
did. I did.
and you attacked me for my Hispanic heritage.
You don't speak Spanish.
You are no better than Hispanic families. right
Yeah,
now.
you're no better than anyone else.
It's a joke.
No, because you can't tell me how Hispanic or how culturally relevant my heritage is to anybody else.
No one
Apparently
can.
It's a trigger for
No,
me.
I know, right? Trust me, dude. No, trust me. I had to endure like years and years and years of it.
Apparently that's true for me.
Yeah.
No, really?
That's not good enough.
No. You ever seen that Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Yeah, that's
episode?
where I got it from, yeah.
Where Hall just goes off on a dude about
being a dentist,
about being a dentist and being a
compared to a
doctor,
doctor, yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, and don't even get me started on etymology."
Oh, whoa, hey, clean your cheeks out, dude. You spat a little bit. Relax.
I'm frothing at the mouth here.
And
And then
So
you see
next week,
it
wait
cuts
for
and
Nick
he's-
to come back with a Mexican flag tattoo on his back.
why, but that makes no
I
sense.
am full Mexican.
No, okay. In all fairness, culturally that doesn't make any sense though, because you do have people that look down on people who do that. But culturally, in the 1960s, a lot of first gen Spanish speakers that were coming over didn't teach their kids Spanish, and they only taught them English because they wanted them to fit in and be more Americanized.
It's a reverse.
So you have
that's the thing. Yeah.
So you have this weird generational gap where there's a lot of Spanish, where there's a lot of Mexican non-speaking Spanish people because of the way that society worked in that time. So you have a lot of these people. Then you have a lot of people that are coming over that are now first generations, that it's a lot more culturally acceptable to speak Spanish
Actually,
and to be more accepted. And then now they're talking down to them.
In my household, we spoke Spanish amongst each other. We didn't speak Spanish in public.
Because
Why are you telling me
But
how
I'm
my family was?
Because I'm saying in general, it's the same, but it's the same concept.
No, it's so in my family, my mom, it's not that she was embarrassed, but she didn't, because we grew up in an area that was, again, mainly Mexican, but also it was looked down upon to speak Spanish. She would hide the fact that we spoke Spanish. So if you speak to my mom and you tried to speak to her in Spanish, she'll reply in English. My dad was like, oh, if you want to talk to me in Spanish, you can talk to me in Spanish.
Yeah.
You can talk to me in English, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I wouldn't have known Spanish if I wasn't stubborn, because me being a kindergartner, I was paying attention to novelas and watching all that stuff in Spanish and learning that kind of language.
Why do I feel like you're
Spanish.
smashing your head against a TV?
Why would I smash my head against
I don't know.
the TV?
You're this person that fights water. I don't know.
What?
You fight the
So the
ocean.
same
So the
thing-
best way to learn Spanish is to slam my head against the TV?
Dude, the best way to fight the ocean is apparently just keep punching waves.
No,
I don't
you
know. You don't
pedigree
make
it, dude.
sense. You don't make sense. Okay? You're, once again, I don't know, man. It could be anything.
What were you going to say?
Well, you know what? Just to kind of move on from this, because we are lingering on this
20
for a little
minutes.
bit, for 20 minutes now. To move on, I just wanted to say, so next week we would have watched Gran Turismo, but we can't now because of
Oh, you're transitioning
I'm
hard.
transitioning. Yeah.
Hard.
Wow.
So basically,
No, I want to stay where we are. This is
No.
the
You
know who we
entire
blame?
podcast.
You know who we blame?
what,
The
tamale?
Mexicans.
The tamale.
What in the world? Oh my god.
I like how you said that on a recording podcast. That we
Yeah, I
do.
know.
It's a joke.
I
Dude,
know,
I can't wait to
but-
clip it.
You don't see me saying.
Why would you? That's the one thing you
That-
want to clip?
That's the
No,
one thing I want to clip. I want to make it a ringtone.
no, we have a podcast that's clippable. That's the thing.
I know.
I know, but I
just don't go out and say a hot take like that.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead. You know?
yeah, just hey.
He's going to clip his entire thing where Nick comes out
No,
as the
not-
hero
not
going like,
Nick.
he stands for
Not
culture
Nick,
rights.
but some
And then some dude's
You're-
going to clip me.
some random person could just have it out for you and just be like, he's like probably listening to our podcast specifically
Got
waiting
him.
for you. Be like,
Got
got
him.
him, got him. This is it.
Cancel him today.
Brian
Mexicans.
Capetto.
Cancel him today.
Funny
Doesn't
thing,
like
It's okay, we'll-
Hispanics don't get offended as easily.
Guys, don't
That's
worry.
true.
Yeah.
You will,
Yeah,
don't
we're more
worry.
laid back. We give you a
You
shot
will-
of tequila
You will
and just forget about it.
You won't remember when this comes back. Think in like 25 years. It'll then go, remember this. Brian Capetto's hot take. And then it's just like, it's the Mexicans' fault. That's why. That's going to be
Clip
your
that.
hot
We can clip
take.
that. That's fine.
Yeah, you can clip that.
Yeah, we can
too,
clip
yeah.
that too. So now you're in the same
But
boat
it
as me.
doesn't matter. I am what I am. It's okay if I say it. It's not
I
okay.
am.
It's not okay if you say it.
I am. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Gran Turismo got
Gran
canceled.
Turismo got canceled.
So no Gran Turismo, no vroom vroom.
At least for your Vroom Vroom movie is put on hold for a couple of weeks.
Sony, dude, buy me a PlayStation 5 so I can destroy it. That's how angry I'd be.
Yeah, you imagine someone gift you a PS5. You're like, oh, this is so great.
Didn't you see that when PS5s were first coming out? People were doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They were getting them and then like running them over.
writing them over, or say do the same thing for Xbox One.
that's when you know you have too much money.
right?
Yeah,
Too much money and
Stupid
time.
money.
yeah, stupid
Money
money.
and time.
Mhm.
Can we
Yeah,
do
we
that
got a lot of movies to watch. Dumb
we-
Money,
Man, can you imagine? if
Blue
we just-
Beetle.
until we go viral?
What's the first thing if you were making dumb money? What's the one thing you would do?
You're making dumb money?
You're making dumb money. Like no matter what you spent, it's not. It's like a little. like in your little bank account, you're just like you buy like a Lamborghini and just that's it. Like in your bank
like
account.
like
So what would you do with that said money? If you had dumb money,
I dumb money?
it could be for yourself or someone else.
I'd probably travel.
Yeah.
I travel a lot.
Stop being wholesome, dude.
Why? I'd like
All
to
of a
try
sudden,
more.
you're changing character. You're defending Hispanics as a person who doesn't speak Spanish.
Listen,
and then
I'm
you're
not the
going-
racist here. We've all seen and clipped your hatred
Hispanics are
against a
naturally
specific
racist.
race.
I told Mandy.
Should
and I've
have heard
always-
his hot takes earlier. His off the camera hot
Oh my
takes.
Oh, and so then I remember because I've always had this conversation with Bandy. I've always had an idea of like if I ever have money like that, dumb money, I would buy a house for my family, and then buy another house for me, far away from that house, you know, so I don't have to see my family ever again. I just like, oh, okay, you guys are good here. You guys are good here. Okay, so we're gonna go across the world, get another house somewhere
Why do I
else.
feel like you'd get him a house in like Florida that was sinking? Like it's just slowly
Depends
sinking.
if it was cheap and it wasn't sinking right away until.
No, I mean like
moved
it's
in.
a slow sink,
It's on a
and it's not in your name. You put it in their name,
I had
so that way they live there for a couple of years, and then eventually it just starts to sink,
Mm.
and then you were like, "Not mine."
if I had dumb money,
Yeah.
I'd make a film studio. Call it
Oh.
A25.
What?
You know what? A24 is coming out with their first ever musical movie now.
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
That movie's gonna be. That
It's
movie's gonna
called
slap.
Dick's Musical. the
Yeah,
musical.
with Megan Thee Stallion.
yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's gonna slap.
Eh.
There you go.
Looks funny.
A25. Let's make it happen.
And then you just make
Or do we
another
just
one.
skip and just go A26.
A26. Just like when that
Or
fails. A27.
B25.
B24.
No.
No, too much on the nose.
No, it's just maybe like
B25 or B35.
Or just throw everything off and just call it C26. It's like, what happened to B in 25? It's like, whatever. It's whatever. It's good.
None of those took off. Went through all the B's.
What?
Or B008.
You're saying
Are we playing bingo?
BBW. I was like,
Is that what we're doing? Are we playing bingo now?
B008.
Bingo.
what the heck?
A studio's
Bingo.
called Boob.
Bingo. I did it.
Did you get the free space?
I did get the free space.
Okay.
It's right here.
Yeah, but it's legit bingo then.
It's
All
legit
right,
bingo.
All right, we've tangented enough. We ready to start comic strips?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Comic strips. Segment of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. We already tangented enough, so Nick won't tangent on this segment
I make no
of the
promises.
show.
I feel
this
like when
time.
you say when Nick doesn't tangent, it's a personal.
It's the bit of the show. If
goal.
people are
No,
longtime
it's not.
viewers, they know what happens. We
No,
talk
it's
about
not.
one topic
It's
and Nick
personal.
just diverges.
It's personal.
Nick is the
It's
type
not
of person to say, like, if Google Maps were to take him down a road, he'd veer like left immediately.
That's
It's like,
not
go
true.
straight for the
Don't
next
tell me
15
where to go.
You seen the episode of The Office where the map tells us like turn
No,
right
no.
on this? Is like, Michael, there's nothing there. It's like, I'm gonna do it.
He goes
I
into a
think-
lake.
Into the lake.
Yeah, I think my favorite part in that is when he goes back to the office that he gave the gift basket to,
Uh-huh.
and he's all like, he looks at it, he goes, "Where are the turtles? Where are the turtles?" He's all like, I was like,
Don't worry, guys. We'll be talking about the turtles as well. That's the
Yes,
main
that's
topic
true.
of the
Never-
show. So
I've never
let's
watched
start
The
with
Office.
comic strips, guys. Halloween's just around the corner. We're already
Boys and
8
girls
months
ever eat.
into the year. That's 3/4 of the way through. Goddamn.
That's math.
That's math for you right there,
Yeah.
baby. Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, voices of Joel and
Ellie.
Ellie. Thank you. I don't know why I blanked out for a second. Have recorded new lines for the new Hollywood Horror Nights attraction.
Dope.
So they'll be in the maze. Funny enough, it's them and not.
So we're gonna get Joel in different, like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna get Ellie saying
We're
Joel
getting
in different.
Joel and Ellie from the video game.
Joel, Joel, Ellie.
Pedro Pascal. What's the actress's name that played Ellie in the show?
I forgot.
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey. That's not them.
Yeah, not them.
Not them.
You know what? I can kind of see it, just because if they're gonna, it depends of whether or not they're gonna use more like video game stuff and less of like the TV show stuff.
I think they're going full video game, which is
Yeah.
fine. I don't mind that. Yeah. I was saying this, that I feel like Universal kind of missed out on the fact that they could have done a Bloomhouse maze, Five Nights at Freddy's,
Could have.
but they didn't. But supposedly there's one more maze still left to be revealed.
It's not Five Nights at Freddy's.
You don't think so?
No.
You wouldn't do a Five Nights at Freddy's maze?
No, I would. It's just that I want it, and it's not gonna happen.
Dumb money. Let's make a pizzeria.
No.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
3 Nerds Pizzeria.
Nope.
Three nerds. That doesn't sound appetizing. Come
Fat
to
Boys
Three
Pizza.
Nerds.
Fat Boys Pizza.
That sounds like there's like neck hair in there.
Mhm.
Well, if you're making them.
I make a great pizza.
Do you though?
I
Why
do.
don't we make like a pizza night? Like we make pizza from scratch.
And we
I
can
can do
watch
that.
Zathura.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you haven't seen Zathura.
None of you guys are my best friends because you guys didn't mention Space Jumanji.
I feel like I didn't
We all
need
just kind of
to.
figured that you watched it as a child.
No, because I grew up with action movies.
Yeah.
No.
It's an action movie.
I had to run into Jumanji. My dad didn't show me Jumanji.
No.
I had to run into it. So what makes you think that I would have casually walked into Zathura?
That's a Jon Favreau movie.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, Jon Favreau and J.J. Abrams have just made an impact in my life, and I didn't even know about it. Remember when I was like, Jon Favreau was my rival, and then I realized that he directed Elf? I was
Much,
like, oh my
much
God.
like Christopher Nolan.
How do you not understand these? Do you just say words and you don't look things up?
I don't sometimes.
I feel like
Like J.J.
I feel
Abrams
a hater
created
is just a
Fringe.
fan.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is what Bryan.
Fringe was a great show for me.
That is basically what Bryan is.
What?
An
You're
Uber.
just a- you're-
It's just an Uber fan that doesn't understand who he's a fan of.
Which
a
is
hater
fine.
who is secretly a fan.
Yeah. Like Christopher Nolan. You know what?
Oppenheimer was good.
And then Oppenheimer changed my life.
Yeah, it was that Florence Pugh scene.
No, it wasn't just the
Yeah, it
Florence
was.
Pugh
That was the thing that
scene.
changed.
It was a
his
choice he had to make afterwards. That
Yeah.
wasn't his choice.
Of having 2 nude scenes. Yeah, it was his choice.
Where him double, oh, you mean his double down? That moment where they were like, "Chris, we can't have that in. It's not going to do well." And then he was like,
Why not?
and then he goes, "Really? Call Florence back.
Bet.
Get her back here.
Get her back here.
and get her naked."
Damn.
Uh,
Florence comes on set, strip him. I'm like, just sit there. But you want me be on top of killing? No.
No, I
sit
just want you
there.
to sit
I
there.
just want to sit there.
speaking about Oppenheimer, Margot Robbie. Do you guys know what her original pitch was to Mattel for the Barbie movie?
We're gonna blow up Mattel building.
No.
What was it?
Close though.
Oh.
This movie will make $1 billion.
Did it make a $1 billion?
It'll cross $1 billion this weekend.
Good.
That was her original pitch. We should do that. Just walk into a studio, be like, this idea will probably lose you money. But
Why would you start with that?
because you bring them down low, then you write
No,
them up.
you don't.
That's what you do.
Why do we fall?
It gets you to,
Master
it gets the reaction. See,
I'm gonna
I'll what?
I'm gonna go pee.
Why?
Because I've
See,
been holding
you
it
had
the
to
whole
leave.
time.
You had to leave. See, it's fine. There's the pitch idea. So when we go into the building, right? This is how we do
No,
it. I
I'm
say something
listening.
that
No, I
dumb,
get you. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You make the stupid faces of disappointment, and
Mm-hmm.
then Rene just walks out of the meeting like halfway through, goes like, "I gotta pee." Movie guaranteed, right there. We get a budget of about $200,000, and we make like 45 back.
$45?
No, 45,000.
Oh,
That's fine.
I feel like you don't know how math works, but all right. Yeah, I feel like you're just saying numbers now.
How do I not know math? I said we're 3/4 of the way through the year. I didn't even have to think that hard about it. I was also the math tutor between the both of us. And those students went on to do great things.
Did they?
Yes.
Did they?
Yes. Don't you doubt them. Don't
Did
doubt them. They did. They do. Yes. Stop.
They had you as a
What did
tutor.
you do?
I inspired.
You make snow cones for kids
Yeah,
that then they end up dropping.
they're children. That's what they do.
What do you want them to do? Do you want them to understand how to snow cone
She
works?
was 4. What do you expect a 4-year-old to do with a snow cone?
Now that
Eat
Renee's
it.
back, we
It's the second time she's
Drop
probably
it.
seen one.
next time you do snow cones next summer, you should dress up as the abominable snowman from Monsters Inc.
And just sell. Oh, and then just sell yellow ones?
Yeah, just sell yellow
Don't
ones.
worry, they're lemon.
Actually, you know what? That's funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Why is it funny when he said it, but when I said it, he just added one line. I pitched
It's
it
the
to-
way I delivered it.
It's
though.
the
That's
writing.
what. Yeah.
It's the writing.
It's not the pitch, it's the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the-
thanks, I guess.
the sell.
Loki season 2. What is the budget of that show?
$2 billion.
Okay,
with
math.
$1 billion on the side,
And then they.
$2 billion plus 1.
plus
And
another
then-
$1 billion because they just saved the money on a bunch of other projects that they haven't put it into yet.
And then
That's true.
$500,000 for Jonathan Major's lawyer bills.
It's legal team.
$141 million for this show.
What?
141 million.
141
141?
billion?
141 million.
Billion. Okay.
Million.
Billion.
Trillion.
Gazillion.
You know what? You know
Google.
what's really messed up?
Rubies.
it's so weird because you had such great product that was coming out with WandaVision and Loki. Like it was two back-to-back great things.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you once after No Way Home, everything just really goes downhill.
That's true.
Like with Quantumania. And you know what it is? It's because of the expectations and the amount of like setup that both Loki and also WandaVision set up for the MCU.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of like this like really high expectations of, wow, they're gonna bring in the multiverse. They're gonna bring in like Gray Vision. They're gonna do all these other things.
I think it's because they let
And
it
they
cook
can't.
for too long. They let some of the stuff cook too long. You
No,
can't.
it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, yeah, it let you sit, but not only that, but the thing is that did it cook too long?
Yes.
Yes, but also did you make too big of a promise?
Yes.
You bet too
And
big.
Loki season 2 is exactly that, because I'm hating how much fan service right now, or how much the fans right now are assuming that Loki season 2 is going to replace Jonathan Majors. It's like off one trailer that you're getting, you're already making assumptions of how they're going to do it. One, we don't know for a fact that he's going to get switched out. More than likely he would, based off the
No.
accusations and everything.
He's already been acquitted.
Has he? So do you think Disney's going to keep him?
Mhm.
Okay, so then why are people assuming that they're going to switch him out?
Because they don't understand how business works.
So they just want it. I mean, Rene and I were talking about this, that Loki season 2, one, I really hope it takes
Can you
advantage.
actually look up and see if Jonathan Majors has been acquitted yet?
So we were talking about this because I was saying that Loki season 2 is a good opportunity for Disney to talk about this, and or not Disney, but Marvel, for them to kind of address the timelines and the multiverses and everything that Quantumania couldn't do. But we know that the show is mainly going to be fan service for the Hiddlestands.
There is no Doc Brown talks to Marty scene of him drawing out the timeline.
No, there
And
isn't.
what matters, like him, like where things connect and like where everything else. There's no, there hasn't been that scene. Not only that, but also what it looks like the timeline has been put to a stop.
Yeah.
Because it looks like, oh yeah, like it's spinning, like it's unraveling the timeline,
Mhm.
and then there's a stint that's there that's holding the timelines together, and it's really It's interesting to see where the idea is for them doing this, but it also doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, and I don't really have. I'm keeping my expectations low for season 2, just because nothing that has come out so far has really gotten me excited. I haven't even finished Secret Invasion,
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, you didn't miss mine.
I
but
watched
I still
Secret
feel like I would
Invasion.
want to watch it.
But the thing is that
It's-
that's another thing too. There's just so much setup for Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is such a great comic.
Mhm.
Where how exactly do we sum up Secret Invasion in 6 episodes?
Mhm.
You can't.
In 6 45-minute episodes, I'm supposed to just sum up Secret Invasion. But the thing is that when they keep on doing this, they keep on making lesser versions of the great art that's already out there. They did the same thing with Civil War.
Yeah.
Because Civil War, everybody was kind of like, it's not as good as like the original Civil War in the comics,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty good. It's just, it's really watered down.
My problem when they were gonna start doing this before Infinity War was that when they were gonna take big story arcs in the Marvel universe and then put these before what happens with Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet, I should say. And because Infinity Gauntlet is a huge story, it's
Yeah.
a big story, and and they did a smart idea of some building up to that and stuff. And but when they said, oh yeah, Captain America 3 is going to be Civil War, I'm like, that's why would you take something that's in that big scale and shrink it down to just a single standalone?
You could have
film?
done 5 years of Civil War.
We could have done it, or even Secret Invasion too. We could have hinted after Infinity War, or after Endgame, we could have hinted that this whole time, it would have been crazy to find out that Captain Marvel or Rhodes was a Skrull the entire time.
So
But that's
part
the
of
thing.
the reason why I feel like this is happening, right,
Mhm.
is because of what has been coming out because of the writer strikes, which is this inconsistency of having multiple writers just being a part of short contracts. You
Yeah.
write 3 episodes
Mhm.
and then we switch you out for another one, and then we just keep rotating you over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's no consistency in the
There's no
storytelling.
consistency in that storyline. And not only that, but you have studios that are too afraid to take that risk. What if we do make Secret Invasion 2 to 3 seasons long? We stretch it out over the 5 years and we give you the backstories. You know what's a great comic book art that not a lot of people talk about it's the story of the journalists that cover Civil War in the comic books.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Those are good because it tells you the events of Civil War through the perspective of a journalist, photographer.
I forgot because I remember there was a comic book. It was like a side story where it was also the events of Civil War, but it was coming from like a D-list hero.
Yeah,
like somebody who was still on the fence, but they aren't the Iron Man, they're not the Captain Americas, and they're just like, I don't know which one to do.
Yeah,
like, I don't know where to go.
You have those stories, and granted, it's easier to write up. Like no disrespect towards writers of comic books or books in general, but it is easier to tell a story through a comic book than it is to tell a story through a TV show or a movie. But you need to have these studios take these risks. If you really want to tell a good story for Secret Invasion or for Civil War for that matter, you should have done longer arcs. You have to take those risks. And if you start to lose interest in it, you have metrics to basically look at and say, okay, the show's not going to survive another season, so let's just wrap it up after season 2. And that's it. That's all you need to do. But most of these studios don't want to do it.
But that's the thing, though, is that when you do a comic book story like Civil War, like Infinity Saga, or anything like that, it's the same team of writers that are doing the entire arc.
Yeah.
And they had an idea of how they were going to get from A to B.
Yeah.
There's a roadmap, and it's the same person more or less writing everything.
Yeah.
But like you said, they swap up these writers, and then they take what the concept is. So you could have really great writing over here, and then they take that same concept and they go, okay, cool, I want you to match that. But they then have a different take on it, and then in a way the audience then sees it back and goes, why does this character feel kind of different?
Yeah.
Like they feel different from the last episode. Same thing with how Nick Fury felt inside of this in this show, where he didn't feel like Nick. Like he really didn't. He felt
in Secret Invasion.
In Secret Invasion, Nick Fury does not feel like Nick Fury.
Yeah,
and he does explain why he's acting really weird. I just didn't buy it.
That's the thing. It was a really like shoehorn reason that it didn't feel natural to the character of Nick Fury.
So, do you care about the ending of Secret Invasion?
The comic book?
No, the actual show.
I haven't
care.
seen.
I know, that's why I'm asking. Do you care?
I would like to care because it feels like I understand why people didn't like properties like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, because there's a general audience, but it did feel new to me in the sense that it was a new character. It kind of pushed away from the path of like being super relevant to the story. It was kind of just separate stories. It was a niche market that it was going towards. And Secret Invasion is the show that I felt like carried a lot of weight. But so far from what you guys are saying is that it carried the weight irresponsibly and just kind of shoehorned different things in there and just gave you answers to questions you might have that weren't necessarily answers.
What Secret Invasion feels like there's a lot of really great momentum.
Yeah.
Like the show is going. And then either we ran out of budget or we just didn't know how to finish.
Yeah.
Like we just didn't know how to conclude this story.
Yeah.
Because it looks like, how many people have the scrolls actually taken? And from what it looked like underneath that Gravik's like base, 7. And then you go to the end of it, and then you go like, there's like 100 people that are down here that could possibly be scrolls. But then you also have these scenes where you have these two characters talking, and they're finally having like heart to heart where they're actually getting a chance to like talk and explain themselves. But then you find out that it's just two scrolls talking. It's not even the same characters. So you're like, wait a minute. So was that the reason? Is that the whole point? Like,
so it irresponsibly gave you answers, but it didn't necessarily give you an answer.
Well, because the thing is that you're going, is that the scroll's interpretation of what happened, or is that the real story? You don't know. So if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Like, why would I care then if I don't know?
Let's move on to this portion of the comic strips here. Speaking about the writers that work on the show, today, I think it was reported today. So let's just assume it's today. Thousands of writers gather at the picket lines in front of NBC Universal to show their support for the continuous strikes. And it's interesting because I was reading a bunch of these stories of people that were being there. It's like one of the biggest gatherings they've had pretty much in the entire time that they've been striking. And I don't know if you guys heard, but I don't know if it was Universal that had the tree cutting incident that out of nowhere where they were holding the picket lines. not the tree fell. And I think it might have been NBC or Universal. I don't know if it was Paramount, but it might have been Universal. They ordered the trees to be cut so that they could be trimmed out. Like, oh, we don't need these branches to kind of like be all out all over the place.
Are
So
they
they
trying
like
to
trim the
get
trees.
rid of shade?
They said that wasn't the point. It was to take care of the trees. But
No.
why would you do
Why
it
would you do
while
it
they
now?
were exactly?
Oh, it's 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
So-
that's some sneaky studio crap.
Yeah, basically. So this has been one of the largest gatherings they've had in NBC Universal. Speaking about the strikes, unfortunately,
Did Jason Momoa's water help
I'm assuming so. But you know who's not helping?
Ben Affleck?
Stephen Amell.
Why?
Stephen Amell
Oh,
has
yeah,
been
I
quoted
heard,
to
yeah.
not be in support of the strikes. It's weird because I can understand what he means. It's just not the right time to say it,
What
and
did
you
he-
shouldn't
what's
have
his
worded
quote?
the way.
Yeah.
So he says, "I support my union. I do, and I stand with them. I do not support striking. I don't. I think that it is a reductive negotiating tactic, and I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating."
So I'm gonna not spin it, but I'm gonna take that as it's hard to get work already with how things are, but now with a strike in
You've
play,
only made things harder.
yeah, it's harder for actors now to keep.
Not only
working.
that, but
So-
also it's one of those things of you don't. Because in the very beginning of his statement, he specifically says, I support what they're doing. I understand what they're doing and I support it. Secondly, he then goes, I don't like strikes because they're reductive. Because the problem is that in a strike, you build animosity towards each other.
Yeah.
So how exactly am I supposed to work together to come to some kind of a resolution when there's so much animosity that has now been built because
So-
of the strike?
So I'm gonna spin it again. I understand what his quote means.
Yeah.
Because he's not being a jerk.
No, he's not.
No,
being,
he's
yeah.
being
Not.
honest.
And I feel like a lot of headlines have kind of made him out to be a villain in the sense
Well,
of like,
that's
he's
how
not
you get
supporting the
clicks.
strike. That's how you get clicks, right?
Yeah.
But I will say that this wasn't the best thing to say at the moment, given the fact that there's an obvious side you want to be on.
I think also too because his show Heels season 2 just aired. It's airing right now, and I think there's no line for season 3 right now
There
because of the strike right now.
So yeah, there's fear that he might not have the job or might not be able to like
the show
pick
might
up
not carry on, but it might. But I mean,
exactly.
as of right
I haven't
now.
heard good things about the show. So,
really,
yeah.
I've heard good things.
I've
about
heard
it.
good things.
Really? I haven't heard
I'm
good
gonna
things
check it
about
out.
Hold on.
for sure.
Where have you not heard good things? Because some
on
So-
X.com.
on what?
X.com.
Okay,
Well, immediately that's the
that
that's
I don't
Immediately
think of
lost
Twitter when
all
you
your
say
credibility.
It's not Twitter
X.com.
anymore.
I know, but it
It's
doesn't.
not Twitter anymore.
you lost all your
I go on
credibility.
X.com.
No, I've
Incognito
heard
mode.
that it was like okay, that it wasn't like that good.
What from
But
the big
it's also.
schlong?
But hang on. Why do you?
I mean, you can
fight
find that
against
on
me?
X.com as
Yeah,
well.
you can
Why
also
do you
find
fight
that on
me?
X.
Why do you fight me, Nick?
Because you have bad takes.
No, I don't have
bad
bad taste.
take
This
right
is
now.
what I read. That's all it is.
And
How
it's-
about you be a good friend and just say like, you know what, watch the show, bud. And I'm like,
I
you know
did.
what, Nick, I will. No, you came at
You
me.
said you weren't going to watch
Aggressive.
it.
This is also what I've been finding on X.com. All of a sudden, there's a resurgence and interest for
In porn?
Eternals.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay, yeah.
in Eternals.
Oh,
Everyone's going like, this movie wasn't that bad, and I'm like, no one said it was a bad movie.
no one
It's
said
just
it was
dull.
bad. It was just wasn't great.
boring.
Yeah.
It's a boring,
boring movie.
It's a boring movie. But it's
Too
like,
many
oh,
cooks in the
this-
kitchen.
Too many.
Too many cooks, one chef that overthought it.
Yeah,
That's it. You didn't need to add the extra
Kevin.
like pizzazz.
yeah. Pushed too hard on that.
It
Look
was
what
a
happened
little
to
too
Captain
much.
Marvel.
There's that resurgence.
You know what? I would have actually loved the Immortals. I mean the Eternals. If they would have been
Immortals.
no, if they would have been trying to replace the Avengers, like in this like thing, but they were trying to replace the
But it didn't
Avengers.
happen, Nick.
But they're trying to replace the Avengers
Yeah,
for their own like selfish reasons.
Sure.
yeah.
Kind of like the Thunderbolts
Yeah.
in a way,
Mhm.
but they were actually super.
See, I would have liked
That would have been cool.
I would have liked that in this new phase of like the whole, instead of the multiverse, it's basically the MCU. All the remaining characters of the MCU are like, we need the Avengers, but the Avengers are no longer part, so we need to form the Avengers. You have Eternals, then that way you have Thunderbolts, and it's a fail thing every single time. And then by the time like, you know, you have Kang coming around, you have like all these characters come in, and then you bring back the Avengers.
Yeah, where it's just
Boom.
like these like BS. It's these
I'll
BS
take my check.
scenes.
In the mail, Kevin.
Yeah, Captain.
No, but you know what? Honestly, with the The problem is that we went to time travel. Time travel
Yeah.
and multiverse is so complicated.
Mhm.
You can even see in the Flash how
With
it
that
was,
attitude, it is complicated.
but it is
It
super
is
complicated.
complicated.
It's complicated in
With
the
that
comic
attitude,
books,
You
dude.
should just go in there with a positive attitude. Be like, you know
That
what? Time
doesn't
travel's
sell
fun.
tickets. I can't
Just
have
thinking
a
about
plucky
money.
attitude and sell you movies.
He's just thinking about the money at this point.
That's how you make other movies, dude.
You know
That's
what?
how you make other art.
You know what, dude? I was gonna pitch C26 to you, but I don't think I want it
Pitch
anymore.
it. Pitch it. What's C26?
It's the successor to A24. I told you this,
I
dude.
hate you. But I'm.
Going back to Stephen Amell. Going back.
What
No,
about
we're-
him?
What about that? That was it. It was just the quote. It's just
know, but
would
I'm just saying,
okay.
what
Well,
about
there's
him?
more to it. You just
Okay.
tangented.
What's more
Okay,
to
you
the
took
quote?
the steering wheel, and I said I'm taking it back.
Please tell
Wasn't
me what is what's part of his X.
Another Steven Soderbergh, director of
Soderbergh?
Soderbergh, I think is how you pronounce it?
Soderbergh.
Soderbergh, director of Ocean's 11 and 12 and Magic Mike.
Zuckerberg.
He has stated some concerns with how transparent streaming services have released their data.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I mean, it's an obvious quote, obviously, right?
Mhm.
But he does say two potential reasons. There's two potential reasons. One is they're all making a lot of money and no one needs to know about it. Or they're making a lot less money than anybody knows,
And they don't want people to find out.
basically.
Yeah,
It's one of the two.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
it's definitely.
But
one
it
of
is
the
a
two.
scary thought to think about them making a lot less money than what people think they're
Mhm.
making,
Mhm.
because it's based on investors. So if streaming services are not making money,
Mhm.
there's gonna be a lot of canceled stuff.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
no, it's not just that. What's happening right now is you have this open market where just everything works. You saw the same thing in Bitcoin, where just like every day there's like a brand new thing that's like, there's the Dogecoin, there's the Bitcoin, there's
Yeah, remember that thing that
Dogecoin.
Elon Musk like advertised
There-
in SNL?
you have like all
Listen,
these.
I don't
yeah.
have enough money in my life. I don't need to worry about digital
Dogecoin
currency.
was,
But
less,
I
was a
mean,
fraction of a
but
penny.
but anyways, so
See,
what
then
I'm saying is
nothing
that
already.
all it's going to do is eventually people are going to burn out, and it's just going to turn into a cannibalization, where just people are just where companies are just eating each other.
Oh, God.
They're and going to be absorbed into each other.
Oh my god.
Do you want to be absorbed into another company?
No, man. This doesn't
No?
sound, I
You
don't
want
want to
to
be
be
a
the
Cronenberg.
absorber?
I
You
don't
want to
wanna
be the absorber or the absorbee? What do you want to be?
Neither.
I just want to be the man.
I don't want to be Cronenberg. Like,
What?
I'm just listening.
Why are you down right now, dude? Have fun. Laugh a little. Live a little.
I'm always laughing.
no, you're not.
No.
You always got an attitude.
This is coming from him, not from me.
Let's put up with both of you.
Yeah.
You can tell anytime you say something that like triggers him, he's like, I want to punch Bryan so hard right now.
wanna
but
punch
I'm just-
Bryan.
I can't because he's not saying the thing right now, dude. He's not. I just need him to say one stupid thing.
Just say one thing.
Just one thing, dude. One
give me
thing.
one
Hey, Nick. What? He's thinking about it. Look at him, dude. Look at those eyes.
Go.
Those are the killer eyes right there. No, here's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm going to say this. If they're not being transparent about the data that's being released,
Yeah.
how scary would it be that they actually are making a lot of money? They're just choosing not to report where the money is going,
Yeah.
right?
To investors, they pay them out.
Didn't Logan
Their
Paul do that?
first money in, first money out.
Logan Paul did that, right? He was like not
Logan Paul
saying
does
how
a
much
lot of stuff.
he was making all.
Yeah, he should be. He really should be in jail. But
Yeah.
nobody-
He's in Puerto
no,
Rico.
No, he's got
Is he in
Prime.
Puerto Rico?
I don't remember. Who cares?
Well, no, he's in Detroit right now.
In all fairness, he's a Paul. It
He's a
doesn't
Paul.
matter.
He's a maverick.
Yeah, no, who cares about him? They're just
That's true.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he gets his ass kicked in SummerSlam.
they're just
Mhm.
garbage people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. I think I've said this before. I would love to work with Logan Paul just one time
Why?
because he seems
He
just like
just
the
hop
type.
you up in Prime. He's all drink it.
He's like, no,
Get
he
it,
doesn't
right?
make you drink Prime. He puts it.
He injects it. In
He
you?
injects it in you,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, you're gonna be strapped to a table, just
No,
guzzling
don't say that,
down,
dude.
just guzzling down prime.
Wait, what's the thing
And
that
he
you put on
keeps
the
showing his
bag and
Pokemon
it's like
card.
right here? What is it called?
Insulin?
No,
IV.
IV. There it is.
Mhm.
It's IV fed, dude. That's how it is.
I thought he's gonna waterboard you with it.
Dude,
It
imagine
probably does too.
with coconut
Yeah.
water. Coconut water prime. It is what it is. It's coconut water based.
That's basically, yeah.
Yeah. Can you wake up?
I'm awake.
God,
Staring at
dude.
you.
Huh?
Staring at you.
Why?
Wide awake.
Let's see. What other thing can I talk about? Oh, this might wake you up. Do you know who Dexter Jetser? Dexter Jetser? Who is he?
Dexter Jexter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he is the diner owner.
He's a
episode
Star
2.
Wars fan, dude.
In episode 2. What?
Yeah. He's getting his own short series.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Who?
Dexter
I
Jexter.
don't know. One of Obi-Wan's friends from Attack of the Clones.
Dexter Jexter in Attack of the Clones. He's the one. He's like the greasy guy that he gets all the information about the Kaminoans.
No, go ahead. I'm literally waiting for you to like. I'm still trying to think who it is, and I'm like,
He's like
no.
He's the guy that's like the fat guy that's making burgers.
Oh, okay.
And he's got like 5. He's got like 6
That
arms.
was the most.
Why are you laughing so hard? I don't get it.
Because that was the most genuine sense of like excitement and non-excitement face I've ever seen between you two. It was just like, dude, he's the diner owner from Attack of the Clones. He's like this fat, greasy alien. You're like, yeah? Like you're waiting for his like, yeah, and he pulls out a lightsaber and
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something like that,
chops
yeah.
up meat with the lightsabers with 4 hands.
No, he just has his fingers in the underworld, man.
All he has is he knows a lot of stuff.
He knows a lot. That's why
He's the information
yeah,
web.
he's an information broker.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
literally
Obi-Wan
saw.
goes to. Look him up. Look up.
Yeah.
I
Dexter
saw
Jexter.
what it was like for me to talk to Nick and be excited about something, and Nick just being like, but it was right in front of me, played out by you two. This was so perfect. Oh, that made me so happy. Nick, how does it feel to have a show?
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, that one, that fat dude.
Okay. Hey, he's just big boned, right?
He's just big bone.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick,
He's an alien.
how does it feel that Star Trek has a better series than Star Wars?
Do they?
Yeah, Strange New Worlds.
Eh.
So much better than anything Star Wars stuff that they put out.
Besides
Hold on.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
First of all, it's on Paramount Plus.
exactly.
And
Not
it's
a lot
on-
of people have that.
That's fine.
and
Strange
it's-
New Worlds is phenomenal. It's great.
And the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it had a good first 2 seasons.
Until Ahsoka comes out.
Yeah, right. You think Ahsoka's gonna be good?
Yes.
I'm
I
gonna
feel
laugh
like-
if Ahsoka's not that good.
No.
And Nick is like gonna come in going like, Rene, I want your honest take on Ahsoka. If it's not that good, you better be real. Don't just do it to like
No, it's
make
Dave
him
Filoni
happy.
though. Dave Filoni knows how to tell a story.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? People have flops. It's okay.
No, not Dave.
What if he does? What happens? Is your entire identity just gone?
If Dave Filoni really messed up and really the Ahsoka Tano series is not that good, I'd be
I
really
will
surprised.
grab my balls and rip them off. That's
You
what Nick
will?
would do. No, you would, not me.
You will?
I won't.
Everybody heard
It's
it.
not me.
Everybody heard it. Brian
Not
says he's
me,
gonna
dude.
rip his
Clip
balls
it.
off. If it comes out bad, I want Brian to rip his balls off on camera.
2 more pieces
E-bomb
of
world
information.
it.
No one knows what that is
I
anymore.
know, that's
dude.
why I said it.
And then put it on ice.
What? 2 more pieces of information before we move on to our main topic. Cody Daniels, a recipient of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, has reported that Barack Obama has a main in Smash Brothers.
Oh.
Who do you think Barack Obama mains?
Joker.
In
Oh,
Smash
from
Bros?
Ultimate. I was like, Joker. It's like, oh, that's right, from Ultimate.
Mhm.
Yeah, from Persona, the Persona series.
Was that right?
No.
Oh.
We're talking about when Barack Obama used to play video games. So I think maybe like in the N64 or Melee era.
Mm.
Oh, then Link.
Is it?
No. What's yours?
I'll say Samus.
Captain Falcon.
Well, I gave her a lot of thought about this. And
Go high.
Captain Falcon.
Gonna hit
Here's
you with
my
the
main Smash Bros.
you better watch out for my Falcon
Falcon.
punch
Falcon. Punch.
or my Falcon kick.
I
Stop
s-
looking at me, dude.
That's what I said to the ballots
I'm gonna Falcon punch my way to
when
the
I was
polls.
against Mitt Romney. I took one look at him and I said, Falcon, punch.
Stop looking at me like this, dude.
staring at you. I didn't realize the looking.
Yeah,
at you.
because it's weird, dude. It's like, why do you need to stare at me? Last piece
I have
of
nowhere else
information.
to look. I'm
Last
looking
piece
straight ahead.
of information from comic strips. Couple pieces of video game news.
Okay.
Evo is happening this weekend as of recording. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday, it already passed. Plus, Pokemon Worlds has also passed as well. The World Championships. I'll probably be watching that. I'm interested in it. Pokemon Direct will also be having a direct, I guess. It's Pokemon Presents on 8/8/2023, starting at 6 a.m. 30-minute long presentation.
Oh yeah.
You're just not a Pokemon guy. This is
I'm
for
not.
Lewis. You're not.
I'm not.
He pretends he is, but he's not. This piece of information was for Lewis.
It's because everything that Pokemon's come out with in the last past
For you.
5-6 years
For
has
you.
been lame.
For you. For you.
For most.
For you. It's okay. And then Nintendo has teased
Just because you've been licking their nuts.
for years. I'm fine with that. This is
Anything
coming from a guy that licks the nuts of
I
anything
wanna
Star Wars.
lick the very best.
Is that true? I did like Obi-Wan.
In some I don't know if it was announced in like some like hearings, like financial hearings or whatever it was, but some pieces of information have leaked out that the new Nintendo console is set to release next year in the second half of next year.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know, Nick. Do you have a Switch?
Yeah.
More than likely, you're gonna get one then. Doesn't matter, I guess. Okay, cool. What's got you so down?
What?
That's the end of comic strips, ladies and gentlemen. Nick being all sad.
You promised me strippers.
I said comic strips. You said comic strippers when Sean was here.
I said strippers and then you didn't correct me, so I expected some ladies to walk in. Or men. Either one.
Why ladies first?
Because they're ladies? They're
Because,
women?
You know,
Women first.
boobs are
Why-
great.
Huh?
Boobs
Boobs
are great.
Everybody loves
B
boobs.
000.
Do you like
8.
boobs?
I like boobs.
I like boobs. Do you like boobs?
Yeah. Why
Do
not?
you?
Leo loves boobs.
Huh?
Leo loves boobs.
Leo does, dude. No, not this Leo. This Leo's a teenager.
He
He
wanted,
still
he
loves-
wanted
and Neil
April's
dude.
boobs.
Yeah,
he
he
wanted
did.
April boobs.
Let's talk about.
That was so incorrect.
I'm so glad you paid $30 for it. You broke already.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Broke already.
TMNT, baby. One of the greatest movies to come out this year. Better than
Whoa.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Damn. We're just gonna start like just.
Hot takes, baby. Let's do it.
Just a bunch of falsehoods.
What do you mean falsehoods, dude? It's real. What are you talking about? All right. Did
Blue
we all
Beetle
see?
still needs to come out, man.
Huh?
Blue Beetle still needs to come out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. That is very true.
I know. You know what was really funny? When we went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Monica's, or not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When we went to go see Haunted Mansion,
Yeah.
we saw the Blue Beetle trailer.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that Monica goes, "I want to go see that."
Yeah,
So does
man.
Andy.
I was really surprised
Because
when she
it's
like
appealing to like the Hispanic like family.
Don't
culture.
start it. Don't start it.
No, but that's
back
how it
to
is.
where we started.
You said Hispanics.
Hispanics,
Trigger word for Nick.
It's like a circle. Hispanics.
Don't get mad. It's okay.
Is it kind of like I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry? It's a circle.
It's a circle. Yeah.
It's a circle. You're inside the circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a ring.
I'm excited for Blue Beetle. I was also a lot more excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I knew you were gonna say that.
No, but this movie came out last week. Supposedly, it's not earning that much. It only made like less than 10 million in its domestic previews.
Really?
How much does it need to honestly make?
I think it needs to make more than 100 mil.
You know
break.
what's interesting though? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animated movies are good, and for some reason they don't make money.
Because the turtle fan base sucks. We are terrible people.
Because TMNT the movie was really good. The one with
You mean the animated one that
Yeah.
came out after the
No.
Michael Bay one?
Yeah. That
Okay,
one.
I was gonna say I'm like
The one that had like Chris Evans as Casey Jones and like Sarah Michelle Gellar was
yeah.
April.
No, it wasn't that bad.
The
Was
voice. Yeah.
who was it?
Chris Evans was Casey Jones.
Was it Chris Evans?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why they had all the
And
Chris's.
Patrick Stewart was like the villain.
Oh yeah, Patrick Stewart was the villain.
See, here's the problem. Ninja Turtle fans are the worst people around. If
Well,
you're an adult.
And then it also has Leo Lee for like
I feel
6
like
years.
I feel like every fandom is the worst fandom. Star Wars, Star Trek.
You had to hit him with the Star Wars
Yeah,
first, huh?
You had to.
Star Trek is also pretty
I
terrible.
mean-
No, don't you dare.
A Star Wars
We have
fandom.
Strange New Worlds.
It had a
Trekkie fans just don't exist.
Trekkie fans are just they
Where
don't
the
move around a lot.
Point at a Trekkie. Okay. I might have set myself up for that one.
That wasn't hard. Oh no, where are we gonna find one?
Damn it, foiled again. No, but here.
Okay, that's on me. I put the bar too low.
Wait a minute, let me look at that.
All Star Trek.
No, but the thing is that when it comes to Ninja Turtle fans, you have two separate audiences. You have the audiences that want the dark and gritty storylines of the comic books and the 2003 cartoon. And then you have the ones that are okay with the fact that it's a kid's property and we can live with the fact that this is going to be advertised to kids, right?
You have Nickelodeon that owns it.
Yes.
You know?
So I don't have a problem with TMNT cartoons coming out that are very childish.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch them. What was the last one that came out? It was like Rise of the
Dude, that thing
Turtles
was
or something?
sick. Have you seen that show?
The cartoon one?
The cartoon one
Rise
on
of the
Nickelodeon?
Mutants? Rise of
Dude,
the Mutants? Yeah.
Rise is it called Rise of the Mutants?
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, it was sick. Like that show was cool because they changed it where each one of the weapons had like a magical property to it,
Okay.
Mhm.
and like every single one of them was like a guardian of the weapon.
Didn't Netflix also sponsor, or not sponsor, but they helped produce
Mm-hmm.
the movie, right?
Mhm.
So I was thinking about giving it a watch, but I was just like, it just doesn't appeal to me because, I was like one of those fans that it's like the last good TMNT cartoon that I watched was the 2003 one.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is that it changes things up because it makes Leo much more of the rash hothead.
Yeah, it was weird because they made Raph more of the leader in the new one,
Yeah,
and then it was a building brick for Leo and stuff like
where
that.
Which is fine.
Where Leo needs to learn to become the leader.
That's fine because there's always been a butting of heads between Leo and Ralph.
Yeah.
There's always been that, right?
It's Raph. Raphael, not
Raphael.
Ralph. It's not Alf.
Look at you. You guys are like Leo and Ralph.
That's, you know what? There were moments in the movie where I'm just like, dude, for once you sounded like a leader. Oh, thanks, you ruined it. That's a Nick line.
Yeah.
So who's Ralph or Ralph or however?
Raph. Raphael. How hard
I
is it
know.
to say Raph?
He's Ralph.
You're Leo.
Oh, so I'm the leader.
He's super annoying.
Who?
You would tell on everybody.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would totally snitch.
You would. Yeah, you would snitch.
You would so
So
snitch.
then, what does that make you?
I'm nothing.
Are you Splinter?
No,
No,
I'm not Splinter.
Are you Casey?
He's Mikey.
No.
Are you April?
Really?
Are you April
Am I
O'Neil?
Mikey?
You're Mikey.
Am I Mikey?
Are you Mikey?
I don't like Mikey though.
Or you could be Donnie. You want to be Donnie?
I'd rather be Donnie. He's smart.
Are you smart?
But
I
Donnie's
like to
always in
think
the
I'm
middle.
smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all
Donnie's
that
always
matters.
in the middle. It's not that Donnie's not just smart. He's always in
Does
the
this
middle.
look like you?
No, it just needs to be like 100 pounds heavier.
I actually love the idea that in the movie they finally mentioned the fact that everybody actually has a weapon and Donnie has a stick.
Yeah. I have a stick.
Where he's like, I don't know if you guys remember, but I have a stick.
Yeah.
So
They have knives.
let's get this conversation back on track. If you have not seen the movie, go watch the movie before we spoil anything because this is a spoiler-heavy review. Let's go ahead and start. This is your last spoiler warning before we start. And did you guys like this movie?
I did.
It was good.
It was really good.
I
thought it was
loved
fun.
it.
Mhm.
It's a very fun movie.
fun.
Going back to this idea of, reminiscing about like the old cartoons and the old movies and stuff. This was a movie that fit multiple generations. I feel like if you're thinking too hard about it in the sense that you wanted something gritty and dark, you're not going to get it. What it does really well for me is that it gives the turtles a different personality
Yeah.
and it makes the kids shine.
Yes.
The only thing I didn't like, that I kind of didn't like, because they kept on mentioning it, but they never really showed it. Like they kept on saying like, oh yeah, Raph's a wild card.
Yeah.
Like, they kept mentioning it of like, man, Raph really needs help.
I almost said Ralph.
Raph needs to see a therapist.
Yeah,
Raph, is Raph this? Is Raph that? I didn't really see it in the movie.
No.
Like at no point, like unless it was cut for some reason, but they never really showed Raphael being this like hothead that's not listening to anybody. If anything, you saw him be kind of like
How do you show that in teenagers like this? Because
he's not listening. Like he's not like when everybody else says like he's super brash. He's going off on his own. Because he's still following orders. He is still following orders. There isn't like this whole thing of like the whole team saying like we can't do that, and then Raph going, you know what, forget you guys, I'm just gonna do it on my own then, and them getting pulled in.
So the thing is that when I think about this, right, I keep thinking about the 2003 cartoon, the darker one that was out in that era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of Leo and Raph fighting.
Yes.
Because Raph, he was brash in the sense that like Leo took too long to make decisions. Leo was all about patience and waiting for the right time and doing things correctly. And Raph was like, no, like let's just get in there. Let's not split. Let's not waste time. Let's just start kicking ass. And then it would bite him in the ass, and he would never take responsibility for it.
Yes.
Right here, I feel like you can't show it as much, and the reason why is because in that cartoon, they weren't so much as brothers as they were clan members. They were a team. That's all it was. Here, they were a team, but the brothership was more apparent here.
But the thing is that brothers still fight.
They do.
No matter what, brothers are always like they're always gonna butt heads. And I feel that Raph was more annoyed of Leo than he was of this whole we're gonna butt heads. Like, I don't agree with you.
Well, even keep in mind that Raph was that leader for Donnie and Mikey when Leo was the one that sold them out, or Leo wanted to do something specific and they didn't care about it. And it went to show in that part when they were about to go into the sewer after they were done with their 1 month of being grounded.
I really like that poster.
That poster's sick.
I like this poster.
But
I really like that poster. If I could buy that poster, I am gonna buy.
You
that
can buy
poster.
it.
It's good.
That's probably get online somewhere.
That's a sick poster. I
But
like that poster.
you can tell that, you can tell that there was still a lot of fighting there because they wanted to go out and go watch a movie. They wanted to go have fun, right? And so you had this idea of Donnie and Mikey going like, oh, but you know, Raph says it's okay. So what do you say, Leo?
But it wasn't Raph's idea. It's Donnie's idea.
Yeah. But Raph was the one that said it was okay. They listened to them. They initiate the idea by having the conversation start, and Raph is the one that says, let's do it. Leo was never the one to basically plan out the whole thing.
I understand that, but that's what I mean though, is that I feel like what they should have done is they should have went the route of Rise, where Leo is more of the kind of like the more impulsive one. Where he's not gonna listen to the brothers. He's gonna go do his own thing. Whether it be him being overly cocky or whether it be him, because he's not necessarily a coward in this representation of him. It's more of like he's very much a rat's boy.
Yeah.
Where he's like
he's a daddy's boy.
He's a daddy's boy. He's gonna listen to Splinter no matter what.
Yeah. Which is fine. To that point, I get. I don't agree with people going into this movie and criticizing it because it's too lighthearted. That's the problem that I have. Yeah. I've seen that criticism where it's like, because it's a 95 for critics and 96 for audiences.
Can you get a bad review?
Yeah, I want to see some bad reviews. Because what I've seen is that they're criticizing it for being too light. It's too all over the place. But I enjoy it. I like the fact that the kids were able to kind of improvise some of the lines and have those moments of like, they're just...
I thought it was funny because I saw some people go like, oh yeah, I didn't like it because when the boys were talking, sometimes it got a little annoying.
Here's one from the John Wenzel from the Denver Post. Simply being better than past failures does not make something good. While Mutant Mayhem does several things right, from its likable voice cast to its refreshed version of the Turtles' origin story, it also gets stuck in the same gunk as its forebears. That's it.
So what does that mean?
I think it's still clunky. Mm-hmm. Like it still has problems.
Here's another one from Maya Phillips from the New York Times. There's little complexity to the characters and no surprise to the plot, and even the messaging about tolerance, good intentions, and outsiders finding their brood is unimaginably expressed that it feels cliche.
Question. Do you feel like there's a misunderstanding because of the generational gap?
Yes. You know what? Yes, that's a big play into that.
Okay. Because when Andy and when
because they're Gen Zers. That's what they are. They're Gen Zers.
When you and I went to go watch it, because it was you, me, Monica, and Andy. We went to go watch it in the theater. Rene was stuck in Ontario?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was so funny because on the way there, Monica, not that she was unwilling to go, she was not excited. she was definitely not excited. She
Yeah.
was not.
Do I have to
wasn't-
watch this turtle movie?
Like it wasn't even like that. It was more of like, okay, let's go do it. And I'm kind of like, come on, like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's an animated
It's
turtle.
gonna be fun.
movie,
And then
yeah.
she was like, I think she just thought it was gonna be like a kiddie movie, and like
It's
she's
not a
not,
kid.
and everything else. And
It
then
was a
once
kiddie movie.
Yeah, but
but
it's
then-
not, it doesn't feel like a kid movie.
but that was the thing though. When we left, I
Uh-huh.
asked her, I go, how did you like it? And then she goes, you know what? I laughed a lot more than I thought, and I enjoyed it a lot more. Her nephew is gonna, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, my nephew's gonna like really like it."
Mhm.
And I go, "Would you watch this movie again?" And in a heartbeat, she was like, "No."
What?
She was like, "No." Okay, what she said is, she goes, "No, I would not pay."
No.
No, she was like, "No, I wouldn't pay to watch the movie again in the theaters. I think that me watching it one time in the theater is fine." She goes, "But if it was on like a streaming service, or if like the kids were watching it, I wouldn't mind watching it with them."
Which is
Oh,
fine. I
yeah,
feel like
that's
most
fair.
people go through that. Andy said she'd watch it again.
Yeah,
In the
same.
theater?
She loved
Or-
it. Yeah, in the theater. She said it was like a very enjoyable film. But I think that's where most of that criticism comes from.
Mhm.
Is that because of the generational gap, you have a lot of people who are not liking this movie or wanting to find something to nitpick.
Mhm.
But that's its biggest strength.
yeah.
Is the fact that it understands where it fits in the generation, and it gives you a story by also feeding you the nostalgia that you want. There's a lot of kids that don't know much about the Ninja Turtles, or they're just getting into it because their first entry was Rise of the Mutants.
Mhm.
That was their first cartoon.
Yeah.
We started out with the 87 cartoon.
Yes. Mhm.
That was it. None of us picked up the comic book until years afterwards.
I mean, in all, no.
I was gonna say, I'm like-
no. I was gonna say even the '87 cartoon changed a lot from the origin.
They
Like,
did.
It changed a lot
Yeah, it
from.
was super lighthearted.
The
It was
87
very lighthearted compared to the comic book, which was very brutal.
The 87 cartoon gave the turtles the colors.
Mhm.
Their red, orange, blue, and purple color.
Because they couldn't tell them apart.
You couldn't tell them apart. It gave them their attitudes.
Mhm.
So their personalities and how they would act towards each other. It gave them all that. And then it established like certain characters as well, because I don't think the comic book had the mutants in it, did it?
So no, it gave the characteristics of the turtles,
Mhm.
because the original one doesn't have Mikey as like the pizza loving like Cowabunga like surfer dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Donnie as like the tech wizard.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Raph as like the brutish, and it doesn't have Leo as like the
leader.
like the hardcore leader.
Yeah.
It really does.
Oh, and their letters.
Yeah, that
The letters was also added on there.
well, because that way, if you ever want to see it, it's such a great was it documentary? It's the Toys That Made Us. They did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, they do one?
They did one on Teenage
Okay.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they talked about how the reason being is because when they put them in front of a kid, they didn't know which one was which.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, we need to put like very little effort into changing the molds, so
Mhm.
that way we can then cycle out these and make as many as possible.
Yeah.
So that's why they just put little tiny letters, and they were like, cool, that's Leo.
Yeah.
That's
And
Donnie.
The nostalgia in this movie is there. It's definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it starts with the mutants by bringing back Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet,
Mhm.
you know,
Superfly,
Superfly. Oh, well, Superfly, obviously, because he's the main villain, but like Wingnut.
Bebop, Rocksteady.
Yeah, it brings it all in that. But the nostalgia also comes from the fact that they put the, what is it called? That song by Vanilla. What's
Like
it?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Yeah, the Ninja Rap song.
Yeah.
It plays it for like maybe 10
Go
seconds.
Ninja, go
From Teenage
Ninja,
Mutant Ninja
go.
Turtles 2.
They
Yes.
also, I loved how they implemented the video game song. Like a
Donnie's-
Was that
It's
was that
Donnie's
in the
ringtone.
Yeah.
in the garage fight?
Yeah,
No,
they'll-
it's not. It's Donnie's ringtone.
yeah.
I didn't pay attention to that.
When
I
Donnie,
didn't catch that.
when Donnie's phone rings, it's their video game ringtone.
Mhm.
Like
That's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
now I got to rewatch.
there's a
it.
lot
Yeah.
of stuff, and then
Yeah.
but it's also interesting too, because they realized that these kids are like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are probably into stuff that kids of today are into.
Yeah,
Like you can really like, it's funny that Donnie is
the weeb.
Donnie's a weeb. Donnie loves anime. He loves
loves
anime.
anime.
He likes Jujutsu Kaisen. He likes Attack on Titan, and he likes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's
Yeah.
Bizarre
I
Adventure.
loved how he loved Attack on Titan. He goes, "This person that loves Attack on Titan, like I already like feel like I resonate with them." He's like, and I haven't even met them yet. That's how every anime person is. That's the thing.
Friend of the
It's super
show,
great.
True.
Sean.
True.
Friend of the show, Sean. I ran into him yesterday
Yeah.
when we were at Guildhall,
Uh-huh.
and he's asking about this movie. He's like, "Oh, is it worth watching?" I'm like, "Yeah, because you have all these different fun things, and the turtles have their like."
And then you told him that Donnie's a weeb, and he
And I
realized
told him
he's like,
Donnie's a
"Sold."
weeb. He's like, "Okay, what animes is he into?" And he's like, "Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure." We have a side bet where if I'm told him to give Twisted Metal a try, and if he doesn't like it, he gets to make me watch an anime of his choice.
Ooh.
I would just say I didn't like it.
Huh?
I would just say I didn't like it.
Twisted Metal?
This is
He's two.
Sean.
He's two
Sean.
episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's
He's
also
two-
an honest man of integrity.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
You don't know that. So he's 2 episodes in. He's saying that he's disappointed in Twisted Metal, but he'll finish it. But the anime who wanted me to watch was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my
Oh,
god! Why would he
wow.
start you on JoJo?
I've already
That's-
seen the first season.
You mean the
I
first
love it.
2 episodes?
No, it's like, isn't it like
The first 2 episodes is the first season.
8 episodes long? Really?
It's
I
two-
forgot.
The first season is 2 episodes
Okay, well I've seen that.
because that goes with the Dio and Joe Joestar, and
Yeah.
then Joe dies, and then you get Jonathan Joestar.
It's a fun anime. I like it. Yeah. So I was just like, dude, it's not a bad anime to watch. I like it.
It gets weird. Actually, no, it's always weird.
It's
But it's
Just
it's a bizarre
saying,
adventure. But JoJo's, I don't like JoJo's when it goes more anime.
okay.
I like it. I liked it when it was 80s
You
muscle.
like it when it 80s muscle.
I liked the over just like super like the super roided yeah. Oh no! It's
Oh no! You,
Oh no!
yeah, you don't know those memes, dude?
dude, I
Come on, man.
gotta show you JoJo's.
Yeah, it's a good anime.
But
All right, let's ask this. How was the story for you guys?
I thought it was interesting. I am kind of interested to see that their characteristics are going to be given to them via these new mutants.
Mhm.
Because Gecko, it looks like, is going to give Donnie his love of skateboards. He already told him Cowabunga. He already, you can kind of see where Donnie is resonating this from, like an older brother.
Mhm.
And everything else. So also I can see Raph getting closer to Bebop and Rocksteady and getting a lot more angry and kind of doing whatever it is he wants to do from them. So it's interesting to kind of see where they might be in, if there is a second movie, getting
There is
more,
a second movie.
Huh?
They've already greenlit a sequel and a TV series.
Good. But I can see where they're going to be getting their more stereotypical characteristics from.
What about you, Rene?
I thoroughly liked it as well too. I liked just the bantering between all 4 of the brothers.
Mhm.
It felt very natural, felt organic with the way they were talking to each other and stuff like that. I thoroughly enjoyed as well, just like the other mutants, all the other characters. Paul Rudd was great as the
He
Mondo.
does not sound like Paul Rudd.
Humans, they got to go.
You know what was funny?
Brosa.
I actually thought that was Andy Samberg at first.
Right? It
He
didn't sound
does.
like Andy
It
Samberg.
really did sound like Andy Samberg at first, and then I remembered, oh yeah, that's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Ice Cube knocked it as Superfly. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked that they went with mutants first before Shredder, the classic always movie before.
It's always Shredder.
Yeah.
It's always Shredder, and that's
It's
it.
always the foot.
It's interesting for me because the story for me was really good. It was simple. It kept it basic. There
Mhm.
wasn't a lot of complication in terms of it was just kind of like, will the humans accept us for who we are?
Mhm.
That was the main premise of the story.
Yeah.
And you had
Yes.
April basically helping out where she could.
Mhm.
What I loved so much was we get to keep the mutants as friends because we've seen it enough where Bebop and Rocksteady are the villains and you have everyone else just kind of fighting the turtles and they're just villains of the week essentially. Here they're like their compadres. They're like, oh, they're brothers and sisters. They live in the sewer with them, and I feel like you said it, they're gonna teach the turtles different things, which is great. That's kind of what I want to see.
An extended family.
An extended family, and that's good. We get to see a different side of the mutants. You know, without Superfly. Spoiler, he basically just he gets
would,
caught.
What would you do if in the next one they start picking up martial arts as well? Like Bebop and Rocksteady become like sumo wrestlers, or like they start.
That's fine. Yeah.
I think that would be kind of interesting. Of like because the turtles are training inside the sewers, that they maybe start picking it up.
Yeah, which is totally fine. I don't see a problem with changing the characters drastically, because it's a drastic change to give the turtles the attitudes that they have now, the personalities. It is a drastic change because it's unlike anything that we've seen before.
Because it's ooze.
It's ooze. It flows a little better, you know?
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, it's ooze.
It's good personalities to have because they're not the normal ones that we've seen before. It's the personalities of the voice actors integrated into these turtles, and people love them. That's a good thing to have. My favorite line is when they compliment Donnie's driving, and he's like, "Dude, how'd you learn to drive so well?" He's just like, "Oh, you know," he's like, "I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon, and that's kind of what got me, to drive so well." Fun fact: the IGN interview with Seth Rogen and the cast of TMNT, they were asked like, "Oh, what video game taught you some life skill or something like that?" And one of them was like GTA, because it taught him to do like not get caught doing stupid things. Yeah. And the voice actor that played Don, he's like, "I don't play a lot of video games, but I'm about to get my permit, so I'm playing a lot of Forza Horizon, so that's teaching me how to drive." I'm like, see, that's the personality. You love that. It's great. So I hope that carries over with the mutants, that you get to see more refined personalities, because the only personalities that we really got was Mondo Gecko, some Wingnut, some of Leatherhead.
Yeah.
And that's it. We didn't get to see any of Genghis Frog.
No. They really
Ray
put...
Fillet. Ray Fillet's a singer.
Yeah.
But that's it.
They put...
Isn't he Post Malone?
That's Post Malone.
Yeah.
They really put Bebop and Rocksteady in the background.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Well, they were very one note. Yeah,
you don't want them. You don't want comfortability there, because if you would have relied so much on that nostalgia, everyone knows Bebop and Rocksteady. Everyone knows. That's fine to have little tastes of them, but that's it.
I also feel it was because it was John Cena and Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Where it's like they were busy and we didn't have a lot to like give them.
That's true.
Like depend on them.
Who is Genghis Frog?
Oh, Hannibal Buress, I thought.
Yeah.
I wanted more of Genghis Frog.
It was Hannibal Buress.
Yeah. Because I like the fact that he was like the cute one, and they were making fun of him. He's like,
don't undermine me.
Don't
talk down to me.
It's such a great line. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this movie? The animation. You forgot to talk about that.
The animation was great.
You can really tell that it's the same people for the Millers versus versus the Universe.
Oh no, it's can you look it up? It won an Oscar 2 years ago. It's not the Millers. It's
no, but it is the same studio that did the Millers.
It is it's not the Millers. What is it called? Look up Miller's animated movie or something like that. It's something versus the Machines.
Oh, why did it say animal? That's weird.
Yeah, but it is the same. I think it wasn't the same studio. I think, but it might have been the same. Some of the same people that worked on it. It was the same director.
It was the same director, and I thought that
Jeff Rowe, I think his name is.
But I thought he also used the same.
So look up the director for this movie, Mutant Mayhem.
Okay.
He also directed the movie you're talking about.
But because that movie is really good.
That is a good movie.
It's a solid movie.
Let's see. Well, when Rene finds it, we'll talk about it right now. But it's a solid movie, and I'm surprised that not a lot of people have seen it.
Oh, the Mitchells.
The Mitchells.
It is not the Millers.
Yeah.
It's the
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen that. That was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
It has a solid.
Netflix,
It's got a good message and everything else. It's good.
It's just a kid trying to be a film student, and she doesn't want to go on vacation with her family, and then she ends up going, and it turns out to be an epic adventure versus robots.
Yeah, and
it's such a good concept.
It ends up turning into the apocalypse.
Basically,
and
it's such a good movie.
Could you imagine being the apocalypse and you stuck with your family? What a nightmare.
What if it's the apocalypse and it's us? We're stuck.
Stuck together?
We're stuck together.
That's
a movie waiting to happen.
You become a bottom real quick.
Oh my god, dude. Jeez.
Why do you gotta be so aggressive, dude? Why do you gotta come in with like going for the kill, dude?
Submittable, that's why.
Yeah.
So I'm not submittable.
I have to have currency of somehow.
What?
I have to have a currency.
No, I'm not your currency.
You will
it's good to know that I'm just expendable.
Not expendable.
What is currency?
Your butt.
Your butt.
That's what I'm gonna
Can we
sell.
go back to the animation. What do we think about the animation?
That I can get gas for you.
Stop.
Get gas for that ass.
What did we think about the animation?
It was good. The animation studio says that it took them a really long time because they said that they didn't want everything to look symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
That they didn't want like a lot of like really defined circles. They wanted like weird shapes.
They purposely wanted to make it like the old classic comic book design,
Mhm.
which is good. And you can even tell in the background that like when lights flickered, the lines would shift over.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
constantly.
they said that too. They wanted it if it was like doodles,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a teenager was just scribbling in
They,
their notebook
they said
and stuff.
they did say the inspiration was Into the Spider-Verse.
Which has better
Makes
animation
sense.
though. Is it even comparable?
It's not. I want to say it's more for at least for TMNT this way. It's a little bit closer to 2-dimensional, while Spider-Verse is very 3-dimensional. You can see it is more 3-dimensional.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
It has
It's more depth.
It has way more. It
Yeah.
does have more depth.
Yeah.
It's like 3D without the 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. In terms of the animation, for me, it's interesting because like I walked out of it really appreciating the work that goes behind the animation for
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
It does suck that Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
or is it Into?
What?
Either one. Spider-Verse, the Spider-Verse movie that came out this
First
year.
one is Into, Across.
This is
the second
Across.
one.
So the Across the Spider-Verse. It sucks that they're getting into some controversy because of the animators that are basically calling out the studio for like overworking them.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it doesn't happen with this movie, and if it does, that sucks. They need to like figure out a way to make it better for
Yeah.
animators.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate animation after watching 2 really great movies this year.
Yeah.
We've had some solid animated movies this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that it continues because
So which
Yeah.
one do you think is going to get best animated movie though?
I don't think this might. Oof.
Because I think Across the Spider-Verse is going to get an award of some kind.
It'll be nominated for Best Animated Film. I will say, based off of the amount of work and variety, it does have to go into Across. Because
What were the animated movies that have come out so far? Can you look that up?
for this year, because Across the Spider-Verse has multiple different animated techniques.
That's why it's technically.
Yeah,
Better.
technically it's better,
The
but
story, and the problem is that that Across the Spider-Verse doesn't have an ending.
it doesn't. But I will say that it's nothing that we haven't seen before.
Super Mario Brothers.
No.
There's a Teenage Kraken.
The Resident
Evil Death Island.
No.
I
No.
haven't seen that yet.
Little Mermaid? Yeah, that was animated.
Rally Road Racers?
No.
I don't even know what that is. Well, there's not a lot.
There's been a lot.
Hasn't been a lot.
But yeah, as of right now, I would definitely put. I can honestly
Money.
see. I think Barbie. I think Barbie is gonna get. It's gonna be nominated as well.
Yeah.
For
Probably-
animated?
No. But just in general.
Oh, well, yeah. Barbie and Oppenheimer. We were talking about this.
I
Are we
think
done with Ninja Turtles? Are we going to wrap up the
I
show?
think we.
I
Yeah.
think for the most part,
Do we recommend Ninja Turtles movie?
definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's also
Thumbs
great
up.
if you have kids. If you have kids, I definitely recommend this movie.
Do you have kids?
Huh?
Do you have kids?
I have 57
Why was that number so specific?
because that's the amount of students I have.
To wrap up, because we got to wrap up the show pretty soon. Andy and I were talking about the Oscars because it's coming around the corner. And I was talking about how this is probably the one shot that Christopher Nolan has to win an Oscar for Best Picture. You don't think he's gonna get it? Who else is in competition for it?
No, I'm just saying he's not gonna get it. I'm not saying he's not in competition.
I think he'll get it this year. I think this is his movie.
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer is his movie.
I feel that Oppenheimer, it's because it's a biopic. Everybody loves a biopic.
Yeah.
hmm
The only person that doesn't win with a biopic is Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's not in the movie, so it's
He's-
fine.
It's the only, but I'm just saying in general. Like,
secretly credited in the background.
He wins the Oscar.
Yeah.
Psych.
I would not
He's the
be
guy in the back.
surprised. I would not be surprised if Cillian Murphy walks up there and he's like, oh, I would like to say, I got you, and like it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
It's just He's like, I did the whole movie.
I do think that it is Christopher Nolan's last attempt at a Best Picture win, and he'll get it.
He's been nominated, what, 3 times?
For Best Picture? Wasn't it Interstellar, Inception, and...
I thought The Dark Knight. He also got it in
Dark Knight got nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
I think it did, yeah.
Wasn't it Memento or something like that?
Memento wasn't nominated.
You can look that up. Well, while Rene looks that up, guys, thank you so much for watching or listening to this issue. My God. Thank you for listening or watching this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 159. Don't forget to check out our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Follow us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com, as well as Threads, if anyone's still using that. Follow us on our audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. Leave a review wherever you guys can. We do have chapters on our audio platform, so if you guys want to skip over to a couple segments, we've started adding them there. Also, if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, head on over to Keeping Up with the Nerds. We have skits at the beginning of every show. If you guys are interested in watching them, we will be making, what is it called? Compilations of the skits, which we'll be releasing pretty soon on the channel. So go ahead and subscribe over there and leave a comment down below. What you guys think of the Ninja Turtles movie, if you guys saw it, or any of the topics that we've discussed on the show. Rene, have you found the Best Picture nominations for Nolan?
Is it for the Oscars? Or?
Yeah, for the Oscars.
Writers Guild.
Can we get a melon the size of your head?
We're not doing the Ninja Star thing.
Come on.
And I'm not going to hold it. If we're going to do the Ninja Star thing, you're holding it.
I'm not seeing anything. All I've seen is just not Emmys, but like Academy Awards.
Well, then it's a story for another
Golden
day.
Globes and stuff.
Renee, sign us out, please.
All right.
While he awkwardly gets the clipboard.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 159. My name is Rene.
Nick.
This is Bryan.
Signing off from Under City Comics. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.